What's up guys, welcome back to FishOfHex. My name is Travis. In today's video we're going to be adding a frag tank to the 300-gallon Reef. Now I mentioned that I ordered one from Advanced Acrylics a few weeks ago and it's here. It took only about 2 hours to set up and I'm pretty excited to show it to you guys, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so I first want to show you guys exactly what I ordered for those of you who are asking on Instagram and Facebook. Now here at advancedacrylics.com, I ordered the Peninsula style rimless frag tank. It does come in 11 different sizes. Now I did get the 14-inch wide by 20-inch long and the 8-inch high for the $185. And it does have a 3/4 inch return line and a 1-inch drain line. You can have whatever size works for you. You just tell them that you want them to customize it. Now they do charge extra for customization, but they went ahead and did that free for me for this little promo on the channel. So shout out to them. I really do appreciate the support. The tank is gorgeous and you guys will see exactly what I'm talking about here in just a second. Now when it comes to the location and the plumbing of this frag tank, I really only had one spot that was going to work perfectly for the setup, and that is to the right hand side of the refugium there, and that allows me to disconnect the refugium, connect it directly to the tank, and then have it drain back into the refugium, just completing that cycle. And I could really benefit from the extra flow. Instead of taking it away from the refugium or another part of the manifold like a reactor or something, I just completely disconnected that refugium and used all of that flow to go into the frag tank, which worked out again really well. Now there are some other spots I was considering putting this frag tank, but with kind of how fast this tank's growing, I'm debating on adding another display tank down here and just have it be my grow out tank for frags from the 300. So it'd be just colonies that I grow out and frag from consistently, kind of like what I do right now, just extending it so I can have more frags for you guys, because I'm trying to get away from wholesale stuff and just kind of keep everything in-house. So I haven't quite decided how I'm going to go about that and how much money I'm going to have to invest in actually extending this tank out to another display, but it's something I'm considering and I might do here in the near future. Okay, so the first thing I did when setting up this tank was to go ahead and build the stand out of some leftover 2x4s that I had here in the fish room. And as you guys can see, it's definitely overkill for the size of the tank, but that's just the style that I always build. The 125, the plant that you guys saw earlier on, same style stand. My old frag tank stand was the same thing. The old 125, again, same style stand. It's very stable, and that's just kind of the one I always build regardless of the size of the tank. And it worked out well. I went ahead and spray painted it black, did about 3 to 5 coats, and I let it sit for a couple hours. Now, I'm not adding that towards the build time for this. I know that I mentioned it only took a couple hours to build it, but I don't think waiting for paint to dry really counts towards the overall build time on a project. Now while the paint is drying, I went ahead and fitted the bulkheads for the drain line as well as the return. Now when it comes to the drain, it's going to be a slip 1-inch, again at the bottom of that overflow box, and then the return is a 3/4 inch slip in the back, screw in the front, and I'm going to be using a barb adapter which goes from a 1/2 inch to a 3/4 inch that goes in the back there. That way I can connect it directly to my manifold via that 1/2 inch tubing. Now once the stand was dried, I went ahead and put it in place. Now I did add a shim to the back left-hand corner just because the floor does dip over there, but after that it was good to go. Then I went ahead and added the frag tank, plumbed it with the 1-inch red PVC. As you guys can see, it comes down the bottom, goes to the left, and then directly down into the refugium. Worked out perfect. Then after that I just disconnected the refugium, added that 1-inch piece of tubing that goes to the return line in the back of the frag tank, and then turned the valve and it was ready to start running. Now of course I did have some water on standby just because I wouldn't want to top off that much water. I was ready to do a water change on the 300 anyway, so it worked out well. Just added some new water, let it run overnight just to check for any leaks before really adding any lighting or putting coral in that tank. Alright, so when it comes to lighting, I decided to go with the Aqua Illuminations HD Prime. Now this is the same light I have over my 30-gallon. I grew plenty of SPS in that before I decided to fill it full of clownfish and anemones, but other than that, the light definitely works. I like that you can adjust it, and we're going to go ahead and get into my light right now. I'll show you guys exactly what my lighting schedule is and kind of the overall intensity. So I start ramping at 8 a.m. It's at full power that I have set for at 10 a.m. and then I start ramping down at 8 p.m. to and then finally shut off at 10 p.m. So basically throughout the day it just stays consistent. I don't use any thunder or lightning effects or any crap like that. Basically it's 100% on the violet, the royal blue, blue, the regular blue, and then the UV as well, 100% on those. And then my green and red are at 15%, and then I keep my cool whites or my whites at 25%. Kind of just like what I keep my Apex Fusion as. So I'll show you guys, or yeah, I'll show you that as well. Here in the Apex, if you go down to the Radions, I keep them about the same type as the AI Prime. So again, 15% in the red and the greens, the blue, royal blue, UV at 100%, cool white, white at 25%, and then the violet at 100%. So it's about the same thing, just not the XR15. So it worked out great. I really like it, and I'm getting about 250 to 300 par down at the frags themselves. So that's perfect for what I have them growing in within the system. Now, it's been a few days since I've had the tank up and running. There were no leaks. Everything's working out really well. The only downside is it's just not big enough for the amount of frags that I'm pulling out. I still have a couple colonies that I'm going to completely remove from the 300, and you know, it's just one of those things. I don't have enough room, and I do not want to put any coral from the 300 into my frag system just because they are totally separated. And the reason for that, and I might as well answer now, is with all the wholesaling and everything that comes in with the frag system, I just don't want to take any chances of getting pests into my main display. Not saying that there's pests in there, but there's always a chance. You can't get everything. If I was to happen to miss, you know, maybe an Aptasia or something, I don't even want that in my main display. So that's why they're separated. I was thinking maybe I will combine the systems after I'm done wholesaling coral. We'll see. I don't really know exactly what I'm gonna do right now. I just know that I have a lot of coral, and I've revamped the entire process and everything that I'm doing on the website just to help move that coral out and kind of see if it works out for me. Now, the frag tank itself is completely full. I really don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to cut those colonies up, probably put them on frag racks in my 300, and then just continually sell from this frag tank, and then just replace the coral that I pull out. That's probably all I'm going to do for now until I figure out what I'm going to do when it comes to adding more room and more tanks to this 300 gallon. Well, I might as well show you guys the website now that I'm talking about it. As you guys can see, if you haven't been here for a while, I changed the color theme. It's not so bright and kind of exploding in your eyeballs. It's more chill and relaxed and just more comforting. And you guys have also noticed that I've got rid of a lot of categories when it comes to coral, and I'm slowly going through this. I'm taking pictures every single day, but I'm transitioning everything that I have on the whole website to WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. And for right now, they're in one category from the frag system. And basically what I'm going to do is once I get all the coral WYSIWYGs, I'm going to separate them into different types of WYSIWYGs. So there'll be like LPS, SPS, chalices, zoas, all that kind of stuff. But they'll be underneath the WYSIWYG category just to make it easy to organize. And then of course we have the frags from the 300 gallon. I have some WYSIWYGs. A lot of them are just pictures of colonies and stuff that I'm going to be cutting from that you guys will be able to get. Working on this now. Again, the frag tank's only been up for a few days, so it's just a little bit of a process. And yeah, overall the sales are doing really good, especially on the macroalgae. That refugium on the frag tank and on my 300 is getting pretty empty. I might have to shut down the macroalgae sales here the next week or so just to allow that stuff to keep growing. Believe it or not, I mean, there's just been a ton of orders, so I really do appreciate that support. And speaking of that, I'm going to let you guys go because I have to ship today, and it's about 2:30, and I only have a few more hours before FedEx doesn't accept my overnight packages. So overall, guys, I really love the frag tank, and shout out to Advanced Acrylics for hooking me up. Really, really do appreciate it. If you guys want one, definitely go there. Tell them that FishOfHex sent you, because I could always appreciate that support as well. All right, until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Peace.